Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Uncrowned Kings podcast. I'm your host, Joe Batiste, i.e. JB Motivation 777. Find me on TikTok, Instagram, it's all good. This is a live recording, meaning I'm straight out of the gym, so I apologize if I'm already out of breath. But I figured I'd hop on here because one of my videos decided to blow up, and I'd like to address this on a more explained narrative, right? But before we begin here, share, follow the podcast. We appreciate all the support that you guys have been following on going on so far and thus far. All right, guys. So we have our merch line out. We have the podcast going. We have even community Discord, which is just the Uncrowned Kings Discord channel. We have a YouTube, which I'm going to be a little more active on as well. If you guys would like any recommendations, any people you'd like to see, anyone or anything that you'd like us to talk about, please let us know. And once again, I apologize for being out of breath. I'm coming from a heavy leg day, so please bear with me as I am huffing and puffing as I am running my mouth here today. So the topic I'd like to discuss is coming from a video that I posted a few days ago that really caught a lot of traction. A lot of people resonated with it. A lot of people really felt like it spoke to them. And really, I was speaking about myself, right? And it was a quote-unquote coin that a phrase that I had coined called motivated depression. And to kind of give you guys a little background on where I came from with the whole motivated depression is basically what I was trying to say is I don't really give a shit whether or not I wake up or not, right? You know, it's kind of depressing to think about, but that's the whole point. But it's because I wake up day in and day out. Well, if I'm already up, I know I have work to do. I know I have shit I need to get done. I'm already up. I might as well just go and fucking do it. In hopes that if one day, if I keep waking up, if I keep putting on the grind, if I keep doing everything that I gotta do, put my mind and my heart into it, because I know there are things that I need to get done. I know there's people that rely on me. I know my family relies on me. I know I have bills to pay for, and I know I have a community that looks up to me. So, I knew if I keep doing the shit, right, day in and day out, I'm working at it, that eventually I will want to wake up one day. Eventually, I'll have that job where I wake up and it's like, okay, let's do this. We have shit to do. We have things we need to get done, and we're going to do it with a fucking smile on our face. But right now, it ain't always like that. So something I'd like to elaborate on is how do we get to this point, right? Because I know a lot of people, even my buddy Doug, when I showed the video to, he was like, damn, dude, I feel that. So how do we let ourselves get to this point, right? Well, I'm going to go over the steps and stages and how to move forward, because I feel like this is definitely a spot where I've been before. Well, I've gotten my big ass out of it before, so right now it's just time to do the fucking work. So let's start. Where does it all begin? Well, it begins you're motivated. Usually as a kid, you know, teenage years, especially depending on how hard your childhood is, there'll always be outliers, there'll always be people that are different, right? So, usually it starts when you don't have any fucking problems. You don't have a fucking care in this world. You have no responsibilities. So really the only issues that you may have are things that have been formulated in your own head. Maybe that's been built into you by your family or societal norms. So a lot of people that grow up, quote unquote, privileged, their only real issues that they fucking have are the expectations that they need to be something that they're fucking not. Those trivial bullshit problems aside, we're talking about real world shit, right? Life starts to happen. First breakup, first heartbreak, first loss of a job, first real experience of responsibility. Maybe you're off on your own for the first time. You know, maybe you're trying to figure out your adulthood in college. Maybe you're struggling because you got into the wrong crowd and now you're just watching yourself slip away. Well, then it sets in. Because you're all motivated, you're all gung-ho to begin with. And as life happens and it's bombarding you and bombarding you and bombarding you, you're wearing thin. And you have two paths. You have just straight depression. You have the straight, I don't give a fuck. You have the straight, I am just going to sit here and hope that someday a miracle, a purpose, money, value, that person that I've always been seeking, my soulmate, will plop into my lap and everything will be all better. And you know what's sad is sometimes that fucking happens. Sometimes that does. Right, you're sitting there, you're moping, you're depressed, you're coping negatively by drinking or partying or sex or alcohol or whatever the fuck. Which is just doing nothing but eating away at you more. Then next thing you know, that good person comes along and wants to be your partner. They see value in you that you may not see yourself. Well, hashtag codependency, motherfucker. Now what happens? Now you are solely relying on them being in your life, or that job being in your life, or the child being in your life, or the family member, or the money, or even the social status being in your life because you associate that with your happiness, your value, and your well-being. But sorry, sweetheart, that's not how life fucking works. People will come and go. Things will come and go. Money can disappear like that. So what are you gonna do when that happens? Well, you're gonna go right back to what you were. Depressed. I wouldn't even call it laziness. Because at that point, you don't even know what to do because you don't know how to handle those emotions. You never took the time to heal and figure it out and work through your feelings. So when the sole thing that you were relying on for your happiness or your sense of life leaves, where will you be? Right back to where you were. And then what? You're just going to continue on until the exact same thing happens again? You recognize you need change. You need to fucking do something about it. So now that leads me to path number 2. If you don't decide to just sit there and just mope and grope and woe is me, woe is life. I understand life sucks sometimes. But majority of life is how you fucking respond to it. There are a few things in this world I will admit that we can't control. And it is full appropriate to take in those feelings. You recognize those feelings, but you need to understand that you can't stay there. Then you get to work, pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, wipe them dirt off them shoulders, and go back to fucking work. No one's gonna do it for you. But not a lot of people understand that. So if you don't decide to go path number 1, okay? Well, now we're on path number 2. Which is what I called motivated depression. It's when you're dealing with everything with path number 1, except you decide not to really cope or just hide or latch onto something. It's, I don't want to fucking wake up, but I still have shit to do because I'm a grown adult. And you understand that not everything happens immediately, that you understand that it's okay to feel these feelings because it shows you're human, right? It shows your vulnerability. It is okay to not be okay. What's not okay is to fucking stay there. So you recognize these feelings, you recognize you're depressed, you're not really having it. But you still wake up every single day. You still wake up to do the work. You still get up, you go to your 9 to 5, you go to the construction site, right? Because you know you have kids at home that are relying on you. You do the fucking work because you know you have a partner at home that you're her rock. You do the fucking work so you can come home and see that big kid's fucking smile on their face when they see you. Because sometimes it doesn't fucking matter how you feel. Being the strong one for others is sometimes more important. But this is where you also have to take care of yourself, because if you stay motivated and depressed at the same time, meaning you do the work but you are not wanting to live anymore, but you still have to given the circumstance, in hopes that one day it'll eventually pay off. Oftentimes we will neglect ourselves because we get so caught up in the work. Right, gentlemen? Shut the fuck up and do the work. That's what we're told every goddamn day in our lives. We are everyone's rock. We are everyone's foundation. We are the ones people look to when there are issues. In my opinion, that's the way we were created. We are the leaders of the household. We are people's rock. We are their foundation. We are the fucking go-getters and protectors of our families and households. But oftentimes, people mistake this. We are not machines. We are not soulless, emotionless creatures that are just there to work, provide, and fucking die. That's not how this works. That's not how this is going to work. I'm sorry. However, we need to start taking care of ourselves, gentlemen. Especially when we are in this stage, right? The motivated depression. When we are in this stage in life, we need to be able to take care of ourselves. This is why it's imperative that I tell everyone that follows me or and the people that I have coaching calls with, you need a group of guys. Yes, it is beautiful and it is amazing to have a partner at home that you're able to be open with and vulnerable. Not weak, I said vulnerable. There's a difference. But having that guy time will keep you sane. Having that guy time with dudes that you can relate to and bounce each other's ideas off each other and have each other's backs at the end of the day. It's a feeling that I can't even describe appropriately enough to get, the women audience that we have to understand, because it's really a guy thing. Guy time is a guy thing. That is for the boys. That keeps you fucking sane. Whew, I'm sweating like a motherfucker. I'm talking so much in a closed car. Gotta love it. But as I was saying, gentlemen, we need to start taking care of ourselves. So that leads me into this third stage, right? Getting from motivated depression to just straight motivation. You need to start seeing the wins. While you're taking care of yourself, you're doing the work, you need the gratitude of the wins, my guy. So let's start here. How do we take care of ourselves? Well, physically. What are we putting into our bodies? How are we sleeping? Are we going to the gym? Are we exercising in some facet of life, right? Go to the gym, CrossFit, running, something. Pick up a fucking weight, my guy. And even if you're disabled or, you can't, right? Do something. You're still in control of how you sleep. You're still in control of what you eat. Just because you maybe can't be able to go to the gym doesn't mean you have to stuff your face with a number 2 from McDonald's and a Diet Coke. Focus. Now, how are you taking care of your mind? Are you reading? Are you learning? Are you having that guy time? Are you having that bro time for your mental clarity and sanity? You understand? Last but not least, how are you spiritually? Are you believing something bigger than yourself? Or are you simply just there? Because I'm sorry, I don't care if you believe in God. I don't care if you believe in the universe. A pigeon, a fucking flower. For God's sakes, you need to believe in something bigger than you. Because at some point in your life, you're gonna fucking need it. Your mind, your body, your willpower will eventually fail. You are human. So if you don't have a greater purpose, you are living in nihilism, which is the state of I don't give a fuck because there's no point in anything and I'm just here until I die. What life is that? So if you don't believe in anything bigger than you, when those really hard times come, when those really trivial times come, what are you gonna do? Give up? How can you give up when you didn't even try? How can you give up when you didn't even try your 100%? So those are the 3 pillars how you take care of yourself. Now we move on to doing the work. Real fucking simple. It's what you've been doing this entire time. You know what to do. You know how to do it. You do the work. You give that bitch your 100%. You wanna know why? That leads us into number 3, gratitude. If you give something your 100%, you will have those small wins. You will have those good days. Start taking gratitude of those good days. Your small micro wins. Maybe it's putting a smile on your child's face. Maybe it's, letting your partner have a good day. Maybe it's, hey, someone complimented you at work because you were doing a great job. Maybe your boss gave you a nice pat on the back, slap in the ass, and said, you're doing good, keep going. And then you contemplate calling HR because you don't know whether or not you liked it that much. But then you decide that you do like it, so you're going to keep on fucking doing it. Don't judge me. Excuse me. So if you do those things, you'll slowly work yourself out of that depression. Because you're taking care of yourself, you're doing the work, and you're appreciating what you're doing, not only for yourself, but for others as well. And that, in my opinion, it's God's created purpose for man is to protect, provide, and preside, said perfectly by Ryan Mickler of Order of Man. I wholeheartedly agree with that. So you're protecting your family. You're presiding as a leader in the household. And you're a provider. But let's not forget you are doing the exact same thing for you, because you, my friend, will be useless if you cannot do it for yourself first. You can do it for a little bit. Don't get me wrong. You can do it for a little bit. But you will give and 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 give until you just have the tiniest sliver of piece of you left. And everyone else is asking with their hands out like, hey, you got some more? You got some more? And you're like, but this is all I have. This is the last little bit of me that's keeping me alive. And they go, oh, we don't care. You're supposed to provide. You don't have feelings. And now you're stuck with that decision of, do I give it and kill myself? Ruin my purpose, my being, for the sake of other people? Or do I say, no. You guys have taken enough. This one's for me. And I'm going to use this tiny sliver of me that I got left, and I'm going to plant it in some good soil. And I'm going to take care of that little piece of me. Because that's what I finally deserve after giving everything away. And I'm going to take care of it, and I'm going to water it. I'm going to make sure it's surrounded by good things. Because the weeds will choke you out if you surround yourself with bad things. Think about that. And I'm going to watch it grow, and I'm going to watch it flourish, because I'm taking care of it so much that it produces fruit. Yeah, see where I'm going with this? It produces fruit. Stenway, when people come be like, hey, over here, give me some of that good stuff. Give me some a little bit. You go, hold on. Because I've taken care of myself first. And because I have invested in myself and I took care of myself and I kept the weeds away and I had planted myself in good soil and I nourished it, I now have everlasting fruit to give to you guys. And I can weather the storm. For the seed that I had planted grew big and strong. With a trunk, a mighty fucking trunk. With roots dug deep. That can withstand the weather and any storm that you fucking give me. So that only God himself can take my ass out. But until then, I will bear fruit, and I will bear good fruit. And those who I deem worthy enough will get the fruit at the highest branch. Because that is the best part of me. That gets the most sunlight. That gets the most love and cherish. That holds the most value. People that just want to take from you will pick your low-bearing fruit. Get rid of those people. We don't need them. Even worse, they'll pick them off the ground. Your trails that you have left. But your friends, your family, your partner that truly earned that shit, they were there for you during that growing process. They deserve that high fruit. Why? Because they've climbed. They've worked for you. They were there with you and for you. They deserve that high fruit, that high value that you have to give as a fucking man. And you will give it lovingly. Unconditionally, asking nothing in return. Because you know you are taking care of yourself and you don't need anybody else, but you certainly welcome that good presence. Alright? That moves you from just simply being motivated to the fifth step, which is discipline. All that work that you took to grow yourself back up from that, all that work that you took to grow yourself back up from that sliver that you once were. Planting that sliver was your motivation. Seeing it start to grow and getting rid of the bad people and the weeds in your fucking life, that was your motivation. Getting used to the day in and day out of taking care of yourself and creating those habits and seeing those wins and appreciating those wins, that, my friend, is your discipline. And that is instilled in you. Those are your roots. Those are dug deep down that no one can break. That's the shit you do subconsciously when you are on your fucking shit. That discipline that you are able to do things subconsciously frees up your mind and your cognitive ability to do other things, to grow and learn other things, so that when you are consistently moving forward and growing, right, that's when you're able to keep going. As you learn one thing, get the discipline to make that subconscious, then guess what? You can move on to the other thing, because the original thing that you are learning or growing on is now a habit. You don't even need to think about that shit. It just comes to you. You fire it. When you get good at the gym, you don't need to follow a plan anymore. Sometimes you just walk in and you're just fucking, you can get it going out of nothing. Why? You had the discipline to do it for so long that now that action has become habitual. That action is subconscious. That action is now a part of you. That can go for business. That can go for loving someone. That can go for a relationship. That can go for work. That can go for business. That can go for spending time with your goddamn kids. That is the place you essentially want to get to. Now, what is the last and final step? That execution. You have the discipline. You need to know what you have to do, right? What happens when shit gets hard again? That storm is pushing. Or there's something that you know you need to do, but you don't want to fucking do it. Not everything in life you're going to want to do. That's when you're going to have that intestinal fortitude to nut up and just fucking do it. I'm going to branch off for a second because I know I get mixed signals, right? With the whole nut up, man up, be a man type shit. I would like to elaborate that. Because as you're on this journey and you recognize that you need to start taking care of yourself, a lot of people may tell you, hey, you need to man up. Shut up, just do the work. You don't have fucking feelings. No, here's the issue with that, gentlemen. There's a time and place to man up, but there's never a time not to be a man. You tell someone to man up when they're bitching and complaining about a job that needs to get done, right? It's work that needs to just fucking get done. Sorry, your fucking legs hurt, but you still have 3 more hours of work. Shut up and get it done. Oh, your hands hurt because you've been gripping the bar for too long. Do the fucking work. Where you don't man up is when your buddy comes up to you or your partner comes up to you and they go, hey, I'm really not doing too hot. I'm not feeling like myself. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to fucking keep going anymore. That's when you don't tell someone to man up. That is showing your humanity. That to me is being a man. Having the emotional and mental maturity to admit that you are not doing okay. And you're trying to reach out to somebody and they go, oh, man up. Motherfucker, who are you? I'm over here trying to tell you that I'm not doing okay and you're going to tell me to get over it? And we wonder why men's suicide rates are so high. Gentlemen, we need to be there for each other. This circles right back around to why I say it's essential to have a group of guys you can go to. Because guys, you can't go to your woman about everything. You can't. Because there's sometimes You don't need a sugar-coated answer. You don't want a hug, a kiss. It's gonna be better, honey. Sometimes you need a real fucking talk. Sit down with the guys and be like, yo, I ain't feeling too good. Explain the situation. And everybody goes, I understand what you mean. I've been there, or I've done that, or I'm going through that. We got this together. We can fucking do this together. They ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm not saying don't ever go to your partner about issues. However, don't be surprised if they don't understand. Don't be surprised if shit goes south and they use that shit against you. However, the boys, right, your bros, your brothers, we know what that's like. We won't ever use that shit against you. Especially because we know how you feel. And we know what it's like to have that shit used against you. And before I get ridiculed here, I understand. There will always be outliers. However, take this with some weight to it, gentlemen. Be vulnerable to your woman, not weak. Meaning, don't go to your woman with problems crying over spilt milk. If you aren't doing okay, let her know. Be open and honest about how she can be there for you. Show your vulnerability in the sense that show her you have feelings. Like, feelings as in, you're human, you have your good days and bad days. But if you are sitting there bitching and complaining, that is showing her weakness. Women don't like weakness. Be vulnerable, gentlemen. It's okay to be vulnerable. It is not okay to be weak. You want to really spill the beans? Go to your guy friends. Because heaven forbid if shit goes south, the boys won't use it against you. That shit's confidential. And you guys can relate to each other. Your partner cannot relate what a man goes through because she's not a man. Just as you cannot relate what a woman goes through because you are not a woman. You guys are supposed to complement each other. Your abrasiveness should be complemented by her softness. So I hope this helps painting a picture for the overall encompassing idea of what motivated depression looks like and what a lot of people fucking go through because they get stuck in that. They don't initiate those steps to move forward and actually solve or work on the actual issue. Guys, I'm telling you, you have to take those steps forward. The number one question I get when I say I offer my coaching is, why isn't it free? Well, it's not free for two reasons. One, if it was free, it would be worthless. You can take it, I'll make it feel good for like 30 minutes, out in that way, get your mind out of the gutter, and then you'll move on with your fucking day, like nothing ever happened. However, if you have skin in the game, right, you invest in yourself a little bit, you're gonna actually take what I say a little more seriously, with a little more weight to it. You're gonna probably hold yourself accountable a little bit more. And the second reason why I charge, and it's not even anything crazy, it's $1 a fucking minute, is because I have 15,000 comments a week and hundreds of DMs of people asking for help. I wouldn't have time to wipe my own ass if I tried to answer everyone. So this is a surefire guaranteed way to talk to me. Bounce ideas off me. Get my input. I have the following to prove that what I say works pretty fucking well. It's relatable. It's applicable. If you guys would like to get on a coaching call with me, stand with stanwith.me/JB Motivation. It'll take you to my site. You'll see the jbmotivation.com merch store if you guys want to rep it. I got a ton of people that already do. And you'll see my coaching. So if you want that help, if you want to take that extra step, please check that out. It's also in the link in my social medias. If you go and follow me on there, right? But you have to take those extra steps. No one's going to fucking do the work for you. And before you even say it, For those of you guys that are like, oh, I'd love to get on a call with you, or I'd love to hire you as my mentor, but I can't afford it. Well, majority of those people are sitting there saying that through a phone that costs hundreds of dollars. It's bullshit, because I've been on phone calls with guys that are homeless and they want guidance and help and motivation to get out of that situation so they don't have to fucking be homeless anymore. They get on a call with me. They pop in on my live feeds. I keep in contact. I take note. Guess what? They ain't fucking homeless anymore. Stop giving yourself excuses. Start giving yourself answers. And I'm going to leave off with this. For those of you that are having a hard time figuring out the direction of where to go, the quality of your life will be dictated by the quality of the questions that you ask. If you ask no shit obvious questions, expect a no shit smart ass answer. Simple as that. Gentlemen and ladies, if you've made it this far as well, I appreciate you listening. Please follow the podcast, share the podcast. I know this one especially can go out and help a lot of people. I love you all. Thank you so much for the support to all my Uncrowned Kings out there. And don't worry, the Motivated Depression merch, yeah, that shit's coming. You'll see a big announcement when that shit hits. I'm fired up. Let me know what you guys think. As always, stay positive, stay motivated, and as always, stay Uncrowned, Kings.